Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mulakan dengan baca Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Malik. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, ampunkanlah dosa-dosa kami, ampunkanlah dosa kedua ibu bapa kami dan kasihilah mereka sebagaimana mereka mengasihi kami di masa kecil. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang bermanfaat untuk diri kami, keluarga kami, agama kami, bangsa kami dan negara kami. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, berilah kepada kami kejayaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami, jadikanlah kami orang-orang yang bersyukur. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Okey. Uh, jadi kelas kita pada pagi ini kita buat secara online. Saya kena sakit mata. Ya. Okey, so pada kelas yang lepas kita berhenti pada soalan 6 tutorial 6.1 kan? Betul.
Betul, Chef.
Betul, Doktor.
Okey, kemudian kita dah sampai calculation of goodwill ataupun kita dah habis discuss soalan.
Dah habis.
Dah habis Dah habis soalan 6.1 sampai kepada statement of financial positions mudah lah. Okey, jadi maknanya sekarang ni kita nak masuk tutorial 6.2. Okey. So tutorial 6.2 saya akan share di file sekejap. Okay, tutorial 6.2 is about disposal of shares. Disposal of shares. Okay, disposal of shares. Tapi dalam ni sebenarnya ada disposal of shares dan juga kita ada increase in shareholding. Ada combination of two. Combination of two. Okay, never mind. So we start the discussion by reading the question together. Question 1. The following information relates to public listed companies, MOE, Mo, Joe and Larry at 31st December 2012. Statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the year ended 31st December 2012. Okay, as usual, we have revenue, we have cost of sale, we have gross profit, admin expense, distribution expense, finance cost, profit before taxation, income tax, and lastly, profit for the year or profit after tax. Okay, and then continued with other comprehensive income, and we have only one, that is revaluation surplus of land of the holding company. We are also supplied with the data for the number of shares, the number of shares of the three companies. Mo has 500 million shares, Joe 400 million shares, and Larry 200 million shares. And then related earning on 1st January 2012. So this is the opening balance of the retained earning. 100 million for Mo, 80 million for Joe, and 60 million for Larry. The following information is relevant to the preparation of the group financial statement. Okay, number 1, Mo acquired 320 million equity shares of Joe for 400 million on 1st January 2010 when its retained earning was 60 million. Okay, can you tell me how many percent? 320 million. 320 million out of 400 million. How many percent? Can anybody tell me how many percent?
80%.
Yes, 80%. Okay. So, kita catatkan di situ 80% holding and 20% non-controlling interest. Okay, and the date is 1st January 2010. Now is 31st December 2012. So, acquisition happened 3 years ago when the profit was 60 million. Next, the fair value of one equity share of Joe on 1st January 2010 and 1st April 2012 was 1 ringgit 30 sen and 2 ringgit 20 sen respectively. So why we are supplied with this market price or the market value of the share? Because okay, probably we are going to be required we are required to calculate the non-controlling interest based on fair value. The non-controlling interest will be calculated based on fair value. So just now, we have 320 million acquired by holding. The balance of 80 million belong to the non-controlling interest. Okay, and from there, we can calculate the value of non-controlling interest. Okay, the second additional information, on 1st April 2012, Mo sold 50% of its interest in Joe for 220 million. Okay, 50% of its interest. So 50% of its interest is referring to 50% of 80%. Yeah, 50% of 80%. So is it 50% or 40%? 50%? Yeah?
40.
40%, yeah. 50% of 50% of 80% is 40%. Good. Okay. For 220 million. Okay. So because of there is a disposal, then we have to calculate also the gain or loss on disposal. This transaction has not been recorded in the books of Mo. After the disposal, Mo was able to exert significant influence over the activities of Joe. So Joe becomes an associate of Mo. Yeah. Okay, that is number 2. Number 3, Mo acquired 20 million equity shares of Larry for 25 million on 1st January 2011 when its retained earning was 20 million. Okay, so 20 million share of Larry out of 200 million. Yeah, 20 million out of 200 million. How many percent? It is 10%, yeah? It's 10% for 25 million on 1st January 2011, 1 year ago, when its retained earning was 20 million. And then subsequently, Mo acquired another 110 million. 110 million out of 200 million. How many percent? It is 55%. So just now you acquire for the first time 10%. Now you acquire 55%. The total percentage that you acquire is 65%. So when are you going to calculate your goodwill? The calculation of goodwill will be done on 1st January 2012. Yeah, 1st January 2012. Okay. The excess of the fair value, okay, dia kata on 1st January 2012 for 150 million. The excess of the fair value of the net asset of Larry over the carrying amount on that date was 25 million due to an increase in the fair value of Larry depreciable equipment. So, on top of retained profit, Larry also has an ARR, ARR on equipment of 25 million. The fair value has not been reflected in the books of Larry. On 1st January 2012, the economic useful life of the plant was 5 years, and the group depreciate all equipment on cost depreciation is charged to the cost of sale. Okay, so we have two calculation of goodwill. The first one is calculation of goodwill for Joe. The second one is calculation of goodwill for Larry. And then we have the calculation for gain or loss on disposal of shares in Joe, and also the calculation for gain or loss on deemed disposal of shares in Larry. Deemed disposal. Number 2 is actual disposal. Number 3, acquisition and deemed disposal. Okay. Number 4, the fair value of one equity share of Larry was RM1.50 on 1st January 2011 and RM1.40 on 1st January 2012. Okay, this is for us to calculate the non-controlling interest. And then, number 5, during the year, Mo sold goods to Larry for 2,000 million at a markup of 25% on cost. Half of these goods remain unsold. So we have intercompany sale of 2,000 million, and also intercompany purchase of 2,000 million. At the same time, we have unrealized profit on unsold goods of 25% on cost. Number 6, it is the group policy to use the full goodwill method for all acquisitions. Goodwill has been tested for impairment. The consolidated goodwill of Joe was impaired by 20%, whereas there was no impairment for Larry's consolidated goodwill. And lastly, revenue and expenses accrued evenly throughout the year. So what we are required to do, compute the goodwill for the above acquisitions, calculate the gain or loss on disposal, and prepare the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income for Mo Group for the year ended 31st December 2012. Okay, so do you understand the question? Okay, if the answer is yes, or maybe, yeah, the answer is yes plus plus. Okay, so I will ask you to calculate the goodwill, for Joe, the goodwill for Larry, the gain or loss for disposal of shares in Joe, and deemed disposal gain or loss for Larry. Okay, so I give you 10 minutes to calculate all those things. Okay, and after 10 minutes, we are coming back. Now is 8:27. Okay, we are going to come back 8:37.
Minum apa sih? Minum?
Okey, dah klik goodwill. Dapat tak goodwill? Okey, anybody dah klik goodwill? Okey, saya nak cek kehadiran ya. Amirah ada?
Ada, sir.
Okey. Atirah ada? Atirah Ismail. Irdina ada?
Ada, sir.
Izian? Izian ada Izian. Medina? Farhan?
Saya, sir.
Akmal Arif? Muhammad Akil? Tak ada ya? Muhammad Firdaus?
Ada, sir.
Okey, Muhammad Azim?
Ada, sir.
Nur Farzana?
Ada, sir.
Nur Khairunisa?
Ada, sir.
Nur Natasha?
Ada, sir.
Nur Huda Izzah?
Saya, sir.
Nurul Zulekha?
Saya, sir.
Siti Sahira?
Saya, sir.
Siti Syahira?
Saya, sir.
Okey. Siti Zuhaira?
Saya, sir.
Sofia Irdina? Syahirah Osman?
Saya, sir.
Syairah Nadia? Zahida Akli? Aida Najwa?
Saya.
Okey. Christina?
Ada, sir.
Okey. Dia Sarah?
Ada, sir.
Okey. Nur Syam? Nur Syam Zulaikha? Syekh Afiq? Wan Nur Alisa? Aliyah Nur Syazwani?
Saya, sir.
Siti Mariam?
Saya, sir.
Okey. Putri Nur Farhanim?
Saya, sir.
Okay. So yang tak menjawab tu tak ada lah ya. Okay, so kita sambung dengan okay, the calculation of goodwill. Saya akan share. I will share with you the calculation of goodwill and also gain or loss on disposal and deemed disposal. Alright. Okay. Stay with me. Okay, so this is the answer, yeah. Okay. So let's look at the right hand side, yang paling kanan sekali tu. Okay, this is the computation of goodwill for investment in Joe. Okay, kita tengok yang paling kanan sekali dulu. Okay, paling kanan ni adalah yang paling biasa kita buat lah. Okay, so consideration transferred is based on the question, additional information A, it is 400 million. And then fair value of non-controlling interest. Fair value of non-controlling interest, we can calculate based on the number of shares. 20% time 400 million time 1 ringgit and 30 cent. This is the market price or fair value of share of Joe on 1st January 2010. 1 ringgit and 30 cent. So with 1 ringgit and 30 cent, the fair value of NCI is 104 million. Okay, so we add the two, 400 million plus 104 million equal to 504 million. Next is to calculate the fair value of net asset on the date of acquisition. It comprises of share capital, 400 million, and also retained profit on the date of acquisition of 60 million. So we bring here 400 million and 60 million. Altogether, it is 460 million. Alright, 460 million. Okay, so we are comparing 504 with 460. 504 is fair value of investment. 460 is fair value of net asset. So we get a goodwill of 44 million. Alright, a goodwill of 44 million. And then there is an impairment of 20%. Impairment of 20% times 44 million. It equals to 8.28 million. 8.8 million we minus. And the balance of the goodwill unimpaired is 35.2 million. Okay, so normally we calculate using the last column. Okay, however, because of we want to sell, because we want to sell part of the shares after this, so we have to know what is the amount of goodwill that is belong to holding company and what is the amount of goodwill that is belong to the non-controlling interest. So can we do that? The answer is yes. So to know how much is the goodwill that is belong to the holding company, okay, we can compare the consideration transferred here in the first column, 400 million and 80% of the fair value of net asset of the subsidiary. Fair value of net asset of Joe. Fair value of net asset of Joe is 460 million times 80%. So it is 368. So 400 million minus 368 million, we get a goodwill of 32 million. So out of 44 million, 32 million belongs to the holding company. And, okay, can we check how much is the goodwill for the non-controlling interest? Yes, the answer is yes. So the amount of non-controlling interest fair value is 104. And we compare with the 20% of the fair value of net asset. 460 times 20% equal to 92 million. So 104 minus 92 equals to 12. 32 plus 12 equal to 44. So out of 44 million goodwill, 12 million belongs to the non-controlling interest and 32 million belongs to the holding company. Alright. And what about the impairment? The impairment. For the impairment, we are going to allocate the impairment based on the percentage of holding. Okay, based on the percentage of holding. So 8.8 million times 20% is for the non-controlling interest, and time 80% is for the holding company. So at the end of the year, the amount of unimpaired goodwill for the holding company is 24.96, and for the non-controlling interest is how much? 10.24. Okay. That is the first one, the calculation of goodwill for Joe. Okay, do you have any question for this? No?
No.
Okay, you can take the picture if you want. Then, second one is to calculate the disposal, gain or loss on disposal of 50% of shares in more interest in Joe. Okay, 50% of 80% in Joe on 1st April 2012. Okay, 1st April 2012 is current year. After the disposal, Joe is an associate of Mo. Okay, so we put here the consideration received. Okay, from the additional information, number 2, consideration received is 220. Okay, this is for 40%. For the first 40% that was sold, the consideration received is 220. And then what is the fair value for the remaining 40%? The remaining 40%, the fair value is 40% time 400 million time 2 ringgit and 20 cent. That is equal to 352. So there is a lot of difference between 220 and 352. The fair value is 352. But Mo already sold at 220 only. So there is a loss of lot of loss. Bear by the holding company in selling this share, 40% share. 220, 352, 132 million loss kat sini saja. Okay. Okay. And then we add the two together. The total is 572. So basically kita dah beli agak lah. Dia ni akan dapat loss lah. Sebab consideration received is very low as compared to the market value. Kan? So we compare with fair value of net asset on the date of disposal. So share capital of Joe is 400 million. Retained earning of Joe, balance brought down is 80 million. Okay, current year profit is 960 million. But, okay, it become a subsidiary only for 3 months. January, February, March. So, multiply by 3/12. 960 million multiply by 3/12. Okay. So, kita dapat kat situ amount dia. Berapa tu? 320 tolak 8. 240. 240. 240 million kat situ. So 80 plus 240 equal to 320 million. Okay, so altogether it is 720 million times 80% is 576. So 576 is lower than 572. Fair value of investment is 572. Fair value of net asset is 576. So you get a preliminary loss of 4 million. And please don't forget that we still have unimpaired goodwill of 24.96 million. This is the goodwill of holding company, 24.96. So 24.96, 576. Okay, 572 minus 576 is -4. And then we add further the loss by 24.96. So at the end, the loss on disposal is 28.96. 28.96. So where are we going to bring this loss? This loss will be brought to the consolidated statement of profit or loss. Okay, in the statement of profit or loss for the current year 2012. So these are the calculation for investment in Joe. The third one is to calculate the goodwill for investment in Larry. So investment in Larry, actually we don't have to calculate separately. We don't have to calculate separately because there is no actual disposal. Okay. However, okay, let's calculate the amount of goodwill for investment in Larry. So investment in Larry, we have 2-time acquisition. We have 2-time acquisition. The second acquisition is 55%. The second acquisition is 55%. So the value of the acquisition is 150 million. This is the consideration transferred, 150 million. And then the fair value of previous investment is 20 million time 1 ringgit and 40 cent. 20 million time 1 ringgit 40 cent. This is the value on the date of second acquisition. So it is equal to 28 million. 150 plus 28 equal to 78. 78 million. And then, what is the fair value of net asset? What is the fair value of net asset of the subsidiary, Larry? The fair value of net asset comprised of share capital 200 million, retained profit 60 million, and don't forget we have an ARR of 25 million. So 200 plus 60 plus 25 equal to 285. So we are comparing 276 and 285. 276 is the total fair value of investment, and 285 is the fair value of net asset. So at the end, we get a bargain purchase of 9 million. Okay, bargain purchase of 9 million. So we do not have to separate actually. But if we want to separate, we can check that the bargain purchase for the holding company is 7.25 and bargain purchase for the non-controlling interest is 1.75. But the total bargain purchase is 9. Right? And the last calculation that we have to make is that we have to calculate is, okay, the gain or loss on deemed disposal of the simple investment. Okay, deemed disposal. On the date of acquisition, the cost of the 10% is 25 million. On the date of deemed disposal, the fair value is 28 million. So there is a difference of 3 million. Therefore, 3 million is regarded as gain on disposal. Okay, and this amount will also be brought to the statement of profit or loss. And just now, the bargain purchase also will be brought to the statement of profit or loss. Okay, so about this for calculation, do you have any question? Calculation 1, goodwill for Joe, and then gain or loss on disposal. Next, investment in Larry, and also gain on disposal of shares in Larry. Any question? No. So if there is no question, we go further. We move further to consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Okay, so from here we know that, okay, the revenue of the group is comprised of the revenue of how many companies? Revenue of 3 companies. The first company is Mo, the second company is Joe, and the company is Larry. Okay, but Joe only becomes a subsidiary for 3 months. Okay, for 3 months. That's why we have to multiply by 3/12. So 5,000 million plus 4,500 million times 3/12 plus 4,000 million minus 2,000 million. Okay, what is this 2,000 million? What is this 2,000 million? Why be minus? Why we have to minus this 2,000 million? Because this is an intercompany sale. Intercompany sale, so we have to minus. Okay, for the cost of sale, 1,500 million plus 1,200 million times 3/12 plus 1,000 million minus 2,000 million also. So why we have to minus 2,000 million again here? Because it become an intercompany purchase. Become an intercompany purchase. And we have unrealized profit on unsold goods. Okay, unsold goods. Out of 2,000 million, half of the inventory was not yet sold. Okay, so 1,000 million times 25/125. Berapa dapat tu? 1,000 million time 25 over 1 to 5. So we get 200 million. Jadi banyak tu dia punya unrealized profit. So we add back the unrealized profit in the cost of sale. Alright. And then we have also depreciation here. Depreciation based on ARR of 25 million and remaining useful life of 5 years. But why we have to put here the depreciation? Because the accounting policy of the company charge depreciation in the cost of sale. Okay, so we have to add here depreciation under provided 25 million divided by 5 years. Is that okay? So we get a gross profit of 7,120 million. Then we have administrative expenses, 1,200 million plus 1,000 million times 3 over 12 plus 800 million. Okay, and we have also goodwill impairment of 8.8 million. Okay, we can actually separate these administrative expenses and goodwill. If we combine together, the total is 2258.8. If we separate them, the admin expenses is 2250.0, and the impairment of goodwill is 8.8. Right? Distribution expenses 1,000 million plus 800 million times 3 over 12 plus 600 million. The same goes to finance cost. For the first subsidiary, we are going to multiply by 3 over 12. And okay, we have loss on disposal 28.96. We have fair value gain of 3. We have bargain purchase of 9. And don't forget that we have share of profit of the associate. Who is the associate? The associate is Joe. The associate is Joe. Starting from 1st April 2012, Joe becomes an associate. So we take the profit of for the year 960 million times 9 over 12 times 40%. So at the end, we get the share of profit of 288 million. Next, we arrive at profit before tax 2557.24, and we have income tax of 540 million. Okay, don't forget to multiply by 3 over 12 for the tax of Joe. Then profit for the year is 2017.24 million. Other comprehensive income is coming from the holding company, revaluation surplus of 200 million. Okay. Now we want to calculate the non-controlling interest. Okay, the non-controlling interest is for Joe. The non-controlling interest from Joe is 960 times 3 over 12 times 20%. It equals to 48. And the non-controlling interest for Larry is 1120. This is taken from the question. 1120 is profit after tax for the year minus 5. 5 is under provided depreciation based on plan just now, ARR of plan, times 35%. So it equals to 390.25. Okay, altogether, the non-controlling interest is 438.25, and the balance of 1578.99 million belongs to the group. So what happened to the NCI for total comprehensive income? Is it increased? The answer is no, the amount is not increasing because the surplus on revaluation is happening in the holding book. So the non-controlling interest is still the same, 438.25, and because of the total comprehensive income is 2217.24, so the balance of 1,778.75 million belongs to the parent. Since the question only require us to calculate up to the statement of profit or loss, we don't have to prepare the statement of changes in equity. Okay, so this is the answer. Do you have any question?
No.
No. Okay. So kalau no, kita boleh break lah sekejap. Kita break 5 minit. Lepas tu kita sambung dengan, kita tengok soalan yang kedua. We are going to discuss the second question. Alright. Okey, kita sambung lagi. Kita tengok soalan ya. Okay, the question is about Damai. Damai Berhad. Damai Berhad acquired 80% of 40 million ordinary shares of Puri Berhad on 1st July 2011 for a cash consideration of 150 million when the fair value of the net asset of Puri Berhad was 140 million. Okay. Consideration 150 million. Net asset is 140 million. The non-controlling interest is recognized at its proportionate share of the fair value of the net asset of the subsidiaries on acquisition date. On 30th June 2015, 30th June 2015, impairment test indicated that the goodwill of Puri Berhad was impaired by 20%. In January 2016, Damai Berhad announced its plan to dispose part of its interest in Puri Berhad. Damai Berhad is considering two offers with regard to the disposal of its interest in Puri Berhad, which will take effect on 1st March 2016. The detailed information relating to disposal of Puri Berhad is as follows. Okay. If Damai Berhad accept the first offer. The first offer means it has to sell 40% of its interest. Yeah. It has to sell 40% of the shares. 40% of the shares. And the sale proceed will be 230 million. And the second offer is to sell 25% of the shares. And the sale proceed will be 140 million. On 1st March 2016, the fair value of net asset of Puri Berhad was 300 million. And the fair value of one ordinary share of Puri was 3 ringgit each. Profit are deemed to accrue evenly throughout the year. Okay, required. Number 1, advise Damai Berhad on which offer to choose if it wants to retain significant influence over Puri Berhad. So if it want to retain significant influence out of 80%, dia jual 40% ataupun jual 25%. $80 tolak 25 ataupun 80 tolak 40 untuk dapatkan significant influence. Kelas? Any respond?
$40.
Okay, kita jual 40 Jual 40, dapatlah baki 40. So 40% is an associate and therefore it has a significant influence. Okay. Kemudian yang kedua, explain the implication on the preparation of consolidated financial statement for the year ended 30th June 2016 based on your answer in A above. So apa kesan dia kalau kita jual 40% dan investment tadi jadi associate? What is the implication in the consolidated financial statement? And C, compute the gain or loss on disposal of ordinary shares in Puri Berhad that will appear in the accounts of Damai Berhad for offer number 2. Okay. Jadi untuk ini kita tengoklah discussion on the answer Okay, saya share sekejap. So soalan ni possible untuk ditanya dalam group projek. Masing-masing dah tengok group projek kan. Mungkin ada soalan macam ni, mungkin tak ada. Dan juga dalam final exam. Okay. Kita tengok cadangan jawapan yang diberikan. Okay, A. In order to retain significant influence over Puri Berhad, Damai Berhad should choose offer number 1. This is because After Damai Berhad dispose 40% of the interest in Puri Berhad, the remaining interest in Puri Berhad is 48%. Kan? Jadi kalau dia jual 40% of its interest, kan tadi 80. 80 dia jual 40% daripada 80%. Ya. 40% daripada 80%. So 4 kali 8, 4 kali 8, 32. Jadi dia jual 32%. Bakinya 48%. The remaining interest held in Puri Berhad is 48%, which means investment in associate. So, macam ni kita dapatkan ini. Okay. Kalau dia jual 40% of the interest, maknanya dia jual 32%. Dia jual 32%. So, bakinya adalah 48%. Kalau dia ambil offer yang kedua, dia jual 25% kali 80% sama dengan 20%. 80 tolak 20 sama dengan 60. Masih lagi kontrol. Okey. Kemudian, how it affect the consolidated financial statement. In the consolidated statement of financial position, Damai Berhad will recognize its investment in Puri Berhad as an associate at its cost. At its cost on 1st March 2016. And after that date, until 30th June 2016, the cost will increase or decrease with Damai Berhad share in the post-acquisition reserve of the associate. Ada banyak lagi sebenarnya yang kita boleh ceritakan tentang efek dia dalam statement of financial position. Okay. Apa lagi dalam statement of financial position? We will not consolidate line item. We will not consolidate line item. Apa line item? Asset dengan asset, liability dengan liability, revenue dengan revenue, expenses dengan expenses. Okay. Jadi, itulah dia, jawapan dia. In the consolidated statement of financial position, Damai will be recognized as investment in associate. Okay. Kemudian, kita boleh juga sebut, we are using equity method. We are using equity method to record investment in Puri Berhad. And then, in the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the result of Puri Berhad will be consolidated until 29 February 2016. From 1st March 2016 until 30th June 2016, Damai Berhad will equity account the result of Puri Berhad and recognize its share of profit after tax in the associate. So where to put? We are going to put the share of profit in the statement of profit or loss of the group. Itu jawapan untuk B dan jawapan untuk C. Okay. Gain or loss on disposal. Gain or loss on disposal. So kalau kita jual sebanyak 32% tadi, the proceed is, this one is in the book of what? In the book of the group. The proceed is 140. The fair value of net asset on disposal date is 150 million times 25%, equal to 37.5. So the gain is 102.5. Okay, class. Actually, we have another question. Saya akan share dalam grup WhatsApp sekejap ya. Okay, I share as sample test. Saya share sebagai sample test dalam tu. Dan Boleh tengok soalan tu. Yang ni untuk sebagai inilah, sebagai homework. Nak kata homework pun awak dah ada homework kan. Homework untuk buat group project. Tetapi group project tu hanya boleh buat untuk soalan 1 dan 2 ya. Soalan 3 kita belajar selepas semester break. Sekejap ya. So sementara saya nak dapatkan file. Okey, saya dah share pada awak tadi. Masing-masing boleh tengoklah, ini contoh soalan test ya. Jadi memanglah kita ada group project semua kan, tapi test pun ada juga nanti 4 hari bulan 12. Balik daripada semester break tu akan ada test pula ya. Ini contoh test lah. Contoh test ni lebih kurang macam ni lah test dia. Okay, sekejap lagi saya akan tayangkan kertas soalan ni. Sekejap ya. Okay, saya akan sharekan di sini. Okey. Jadi ini adalah contoh test Julai 22 ya. Julai 22. So tajuk test kita adalah increase in shareholding. Okey. So kita tengok berapa panjang soalan dia, 4 muka. 4 muka. Itulah dia test dia 40 markah ya. Okey. So Pine Berhad is a well-established Malaysian company whose core business is manufacturing, distributing and marketing of home furniture. The company has investment in the shares of several companies, Maple, Teck and Akasa. The following are the statement of profit or loss and statement of changes in equity of Pine Berhad, Maple Berhad, Teck Berhad, Akasa Berhad for the year ended 31st December 2021. Okay. Jadi kita ada statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Jadi kita bermula dengan statement of profit or loss for the year. Revenue, cost of sale, gain on disposal of machine. So careful dengan gain on disposal of machine ni. Okay. Biasanya daripada holding dengan subsidiary. And then investment income also careful. We have operating expenses, finance cost, profit before tax and also tax expenses. Okay, for the 3 companies. And then this one is statement of changes of equity for the 4 companies. Okay. Pine Berhad. Okay, Pine Berhad. So Pine Berhad ni dia ada profit for the year dan juga ada ordinary dividend. Kita tengok sama tak dia punya profit for the year 17,400. Ya, 17,400 di sini. Dan kita ada 17,400 di sini. Sama ya. Okey. Kemudian Kita ada ordinary dividend paid sebanyak 1,000. Next, statement of changes in equity for Maple. Maple profit 10 to 100. Kemudian bayar dividen sebanyak 100. Okey, kita tengok betul ke sama dekat atas 10,200 sama. Yang ketiga, statement of changes in equity untuk TIEC. Untuk TIEC. Jadi dia ada kat sini ada 3 item ya. Profit for the year 2,200, ordinary dividend 150 and preference dividend 50. Okey, kita tengok dekat atas. 2,200 sama ya. Dan last sekali kita nak tengok company yang keempat, Akasa. Akasa dia ada profit 2,600. Dan kita tengok profit di atas, is it the same? 2,600. The answer is yes. Okay. So, kita baru confirmkan dia punya figure of profit sama. Right. So, first is investment in Maple. On 1st January 2018, now is 31 December 21. Sekarang ni 31 Disember 2021. Ini sekarang ni 1 Januari 2018. Berapa tahun ni? 18, 19, 20, 21. 4 years. Yeah? Pine acquired 4.8 million of 6 million share. 4.8 million of 6 million share. Berapa persen? 4.6 out of 6. Yeah, 4.8 out of 6.
80.
80%. Okay. Alright. 80% of shares. Berapa dibayar? When the retained profit and other reserve of Maple Berhad were 600 and 500 million respectively, the consideration transfer was satisfied through a cash payment of 7.5 million. The non-controlling interest value on the date of acquisition was 2.16 million. So, we don't have to calculate the non-controlling interest because the figure already given. Okay, so this one is 80%. A fair valuation exercise conducted on 1st January 2018 revealed that the fair value of net asset of Maple Berhad was equal to its carrying amount except for freehold land. The fair value of the freehold land of Maple Berhad was 400,000 in excess of its carrying amount. No adjustment has been made in the books of Maple Berhad. Jadi ada kenaikan 400,000. Apa ni? ARR kan? Jadi ARR lah. So on top of profit, kita ada profit tadi sebanyak 600,000. Ada reserve 500,000. Kita ada juga ada ARR 400,000. Untuk calculate goodwill. Alright. Yang kedua, increase of shares in Maple. Increase of shares in Maple. Just now it acquired already 80%. Kemudian dia nak increase lagi. On 1st January 2021, the board of directors decided to increase 12.5% of its interest in ordinary shares of Maple to Kombi Berhad. Okay. Apa pula ni tu Kombi Berhad ni? Shares of Maple, which is deemed to be fair value of the shares on that date. The increased transaction has not been recorded. Ada combi pula ni. Shares of Maple. Jadi dia increase lah. Increase 12.5%. Ni tu kombi ni tak ada lah. Kombi Berhad ni tak ada. At RM2.50 per share. Jadi pada harga RM2.50 setiap satu dia beli tu. Ya. Tadi 80%, sekarang dia naikkan percentage dia menjadi 92.5%. Jadi pada kali ini dia beli dengan harga RM2.50. Alright. Kemudian investment in Teck Berhad. Investment in Teck Berhad. Investment yang kedua, Teck Berhad become a subsidiary of Maple on 1st January 21. 1st January 21. 21 ni adalah tahun semasa when Maple Berhad acquired 90% of the 8 million ordinary shares of Teck Berhad. The purchase consideration was settled through an immediate cash payment of 2.5 million and also issue of 3 million unit of Pine Berhad ordinary share. Okay. Jadi Pine ni adalah dia punya holding company kan. Jadi dia issue share. Dia issue share untuk membeli investment in Maple Berhad. Investment in Teck Berhad. Okay. Jadi dibayar 2.5 juta cash. Dan juga 3 juta ordinary share. Okay, 3 juta ordinary share. At the acquisition date, the market price of the ordinary share of Pine Berhad and Teck Berhad was RM3 and RM1.50 each. Okay. At the date of acquisition, the fair value of the building of Teck Berhad was 400,000 more than the carrying amount. However, Teck Berhad has not made any adjustment in the books to reflect the new value. Okay. Kemudian investment in Akasa. Akasa ni company yang keempat. On 1st January 2020, Pine acquired 25% interest in Akasa for cash consideration. The fair value of the net asset of Akasa on this date was equal to the carrying amount. At that date, the retained profit of Akasa was 780,000. A bargain purchase on the acquisition of Akasa amounted to 180,000. Jadi kita tak perlu nak calculate dia punya goodwill or bargain purchase because the bargain purchase already given for investment in Akasa. Investment in Akasa. Additional information, number 1. On 1st June 21, Teck Berhad sold a machine with a carrying value of 2 million and an accumulated depreciation of 0.22 million to Pine Berhad for 2.6 million. Jadi kita nak kena tengoklah. Carrying amount dia 2 tolak 0.22. Kan, dijual pada harga 2.6. Jadi dapat unrealized profit. On the date of disposal, the remaining useful life is 5 years. The machine was still in Pine Berhad, booked at 31st December 21. Okay, jadi ada URP dan ada overprovided depreciation. Number 2, 16 million of Pine Berhad revenue for 31st December 21 represent goods sold to Maple at cost plus 20%. By the year end, Maple had sold 13 million of the goods to third party. Daripada 16 million, 13 million telah dijual. Ada lagi unsold goods sebanyak 3 million. 3 million kali dengan 20% bagi 120. Number 3. Both Maple and Teck Berhad have provided ordinary dividend on 30th December 21. Teck Berhad has also provided preference dividend on the same date. Both investors have recognized their shares of dividend received from their respective investee as investment income. Jadi yang ni adalah intercompany transaction and balance. Okay, dia trade sebagai investment income. Jadi kita kena buat elimination ataupun kita kena buat offset. Offset. Number 4, on 1st January 21, Pine Berhad issued 6% debentures worth 10 million for cash. This transaction has not been recorded. However, the interest on debentures has not been provided by Pine as at 31st December 21. Jadi Pine ni dia issue 6% debentures bernilai 10 million untuk dapatkan tunai. Patutnya ada debit, cash, credit, 6% debentures. Tapi belum record lagi. Jadi bila dia belum record, maka dia punya interest pun dia tak record jugalah untuk 2021. Goodwill of Maple Berhad was impaired by 200,000 at 31st December 21. Number 6, in September 21, Akasa sold goods to Pine worth 50 million at a profit of 20% on cost. Pine Berhad sold 3/4 of these inventories by the end of the year. Siapakah Akasa? Siapakah Akasa? Akasa adalah associate. Jadi associate jual kepada holding. So apakah treatment untuk sale? Apakah treatment untuk unrealized profit? Nombor 7, all profit or losses were deemed to accrue evenly throughout the year. It is the group policy to provide full depreciation on straight line basis in the year of acquisition for all assets. Measure the non-controlling interest in the subsidiaries at fair value. Required? Ini dia. Calculate goodwill or bargain purchase of the acquisition of Maple. Determine the amount of gain or loss due to increase in ordinary share in Maple. Calculate goodwill bargain purchase on acquisition of TIC. Prepare consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. And also prepare consolidated statement of changes in equity. So altogether kat situ ada 40 markah. 40 markah. Okay. Jadi ini adalah contoh soalan. Jadi sambil-sambil kita buat soalan group project, especially soalan 1 dan soalan 2 tu, boleh juga kita tengok-tengok soalan contoh test ni lah. Contoh soalan test ni untuk kita ready lah test pada 4 hari bulan bulan Januari nanti. Okay. So required to calculate tadi. Jadi kita tengoklah satu calculation, calculate goodwill or bargain purchase on the acquisition of Maple. So Maple was acquired on 1st January 2018. Okay, kemudian kita nak tengok berapakah dia punya goodwill. Alright. So selebihnya nanti awak cuba buatlah. Okay, so saya akan share. Okay, so kita tengok sikit analisis dekat atas ni, apa yang berlaku kepada Pine, Maple, TIC and also Akasa. Jadi Pine in Maple mula-mula dia acquire sebanyak 80%. So NCI dia 20%. 1st January 2018. Kemudian tambahan sebanyak 12.5%. Okay, 12.5%. Pada 1 hari bulan 1, 21. Okay. So increase by 12.5%. Jadi NCI dia telah turun. NCI telah turun daripada 20 kepada 7.5%. 7.5%. Kemudian Pine indirect in TIC. Okay. 90% kali 90%. Okay, ni tadi 12.5% kali 80% sama dengan 10%. Jadi tambahan dia 80 tambah 10 jadi 90. Kemudian untuk dapatkan indirect in TIC Berhad, 90% kali 90% sama dengan 9 kali 9, 81%. 81%. Okey, Pine in Akasa 25%. Okey. So tadi saya janjikan untuk kita nak calculate goodwill on consolidation ataupun bagian purchase ya. Bagian purchase untuk investment in Maple Berhad. So consideration transfer dia adalah 7.5 million. Ya, 7.5 million. Kemudian non-controlling interest dia adalah 2160 2160. Fair value of net asset acquired, ordinary share 6 million, retained profit 600,000, other reserve 500,000, ARR land 400,000. Okay, total fair value of net asset is 7.5 million. Okay, berbanding dengan total fair value of investment 9660 9660 dengan 7500 kita dapat 2160. Okay. Kemudian ada impairment 200,000 dan the balance of goodwill. The balance of goodwill is 1960. 1960. Okay. Jadi untuk yang lain-lain tu cuba dulu. Cuba dulu. Nanti selepas mungkin selepas semester break tu kita boleh bincanglah soalan ni. Tapi selepas semester break tu kita akan masuk tajuk foreign Kita akan masuk tajuk foreign ataupun forex. Foreign currency. Okay kelas. Jadi saya rasa ada apa soalan tak? Ada apa soalan nak tanya? Tak ada Jadi saya ucapkan ada Zulaikha?
Ada.
Tak ada. Saya ucapkan selamat bercuti dan selamat menjawablah soalan grup projek dan juga kerja-kerja lain yang banyak tu. Okay. So insyaAllah kita jumpa lagi selepas cuti seminggu. Okay. Kita sudahi dengan surah Wal-As. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asri innal insana lafi khusr illa allazina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Welcome.